You know, when we judge other people, and we all do it from time to time, we're assessing them against a set of standards or expectations or rules that we have. Now, whether we realise it or not, we've all got rules that govern our lives, both our personal lives and our professional lives. And these rules can either help or hinder us. I'm Mark Johnson from Intelligent Performance, and in this week's team tip, I want to talk about rules and how they impact our effectiveness in the workplace. Now, rules allow our brains to interpret a situation, apply meaning, and make decisions. So, for example, imagine you're in a meeting and someone's talking really fast and loud and waving their arms around. You might have a rule that says, when someone behaves like that, they must be angry or upset. Or you might have a rule that says, when someone behaves like that, they're very passionate about the topic. So, whichever rule you have, you will act accordingly. But where do these rules come from? Well, we get them from our parents, our teachers, our peers, our colleagues, our bosses. We develop them over time based on situations that we've been in, both pleasant and unpleasant situations. And we write this unconscious rule book that then guides our lives. But the challenge comes in the workplace when people don't follow our rules. So, for example, imagine you are the team leader and you have a rule about what it takes to be a good boss. And that rule might say, well, for me to be a good boss, I need to know exactly where each of my team members is up to with their work, what they're doing, how they're doing it, every minute of the day. So that's your rule. If you follow that rule, you're being a good boss. Now, what if you're the team member? You might have a rule that for that person to be a good boss, they need to trust you, to leave you alone to do your work, and you let them know if and when there's a problem. So both parties have rules about what it takes to be a good boss, but they're contradictory. So at some stage, we're going to frustrate each other because those rules are going to be in conflict. And that starts to create inefficiencies in the workplace. So what do we do about it? Well, there's 3 steps that we can follow. Firstly, we need to raise our awareness of those rules. So I would encourage you to reflect on different situations that you find yourself in. So what's going on here? What do you think this means? And with that awareness, what rule are you applying here? What's your expectation? What's your standard that you're applying here? It might be that, well, for this to be successful, this or that needed to happen. Okay, that's a rule that you have. So firstly, awareness. Secondly is assessing the appropriateness of those rules. So when you're aware that this is what it takes for you to be successful, is that appropriate? Is that rule holding you back? Is it actually a rule that's almost impossible to live by? Or is it too easy? So is it helping you or is it hindering you in that particular situation? If it's a hindrance, you need to change your rule. So awareness, then assessment, and then sharing of rules. We can't expect other people to live up to our rules if they don't know what they are, and vice versa. So I'd encourage you as a team to talk about your rules. Ideally, you're faced with a common situation, you share, well, what are our rules, our expectations, our standards in this situation, and are they appropriate? Again, what would it take for us to be in a successful team perhaps? Well, this needs to happen and that needs to happen. Well, is that appropriate or not? So, awareness, assess those rules, and if necessary, change them, and then share those rules. So I hope you find that both interesting and useful. If you need any clarification, if you've got questions or concerns, by all means, email me, contact me via my website. Likewise, if you would think you'd benefit from some one-on-one coaching, or you need some team development undertaken, by all means contact me again via email or the website, and I'm more than happy to have an obligation-free chat. Well, that's it from me, Mark Johnson. Remember, always live to your potential.